Hi, it's Tim Hagen from Progress Coaching, and welcome to another episode of Coaching Conversations. And I wanted to make you aware of something very cool that we're doing on a subscription basis, and we'll put a link in each one of our episodes. But every Wednesday, we're going to be doing what we call an audio podcast workshop. That workshop will be roughly about 14 to maybe 20 minutes per episode, with each month having a theme from a coaching model, using feedback strategically, to coaching self-awareness, and so on. So if you could, look in the body or in the content description of each episode, and you will see a link where you can join this subscription. These are literally 4 workshops every month, teaching specific strategies to address a particular area of workplace coaching, as it relates, again, to things like awareness, motivation, teamwork, and what have you. Here's the cool thing. It's only $10 per month, and each month you will get a handout that we will follow along with. So we also give you a tool for you to take notes as we go through each episode. We hope you'll check it out. The world has really changed, and this is going to be one of my favorite episodes. And this is really about how do we go about being aware of this thing called ChatGPT and AI and its impact. Now, the title of this episode is Why Conversations Have Never Been More Important. When I think about everything going on in the world, I think about our ability, our need to converse with one another. Recently, I was talking at the ATD conference in San Diego, which was just a fantastic event. And I'll never forget when I got home, a client said to me, geez, artificial intelligence, ChatGPT, it's going to change everything. It's not going to change everything. At the end of the year, or when evaluations are done, an AI tool or a ChatGPT tool should never do an end-of-the-year evaluation or discussion. Human interaction always goes up when technology goes up. Our need for human interaction goes up when technology grows. Let me give you a case in point. When the pandemic hit, what happened? Started to use this thing called Zoom, breakout rooms, Webex. We could have greater cadence. We could develop virtual relationships. Just like out in San Diego, I met a bunch of people that I had never met face-to-face, yet it was like a continuation of a relationship. It wasn't anything new. You typically heard people say, geez, it's great to finally meet in person, meaning we had a relationship. How did we have a relationship? We had conversations virtually. Yet, even with the proliferation, the growth of that technology, what were people saying? Oh, it's so great to be back in person. ChatGPT and AI, which we use, is important. It's going to provide incredible opportunity. Yet the one thing it is not going to replace, nor should it ever replace, is the interaction between people, specifically between the leader and somebody that they are managing or coaching. If anything, ChatGPT and AI should increase people's time availability to converse. Yet people have an impression it's going to replace everything. If we ever have an AI tool or a chat tool do the end of the year for employees, I promise you those employees will try to find employment elsewhere. We have to sit down with their people. We have to converse with them. We have to be in a state of mind of listening to our people where they want to go. Yes, there's always going to be tools to do assessments and to discover and to find out things, yet nothing ever will replace our need for human interaction. So I was talking to somebody, and this is one of my favorite things, and I just did a video on this in LinkedIn, and I have a friend in the publishing business and does editing work. And she went to her boss and she said, look, I'm looking at this ChatGPT tool. Are you familiar with it? He said, oh, yeah. And he kind of was very cavalier. And she said, are our jobs at risk? And he chuckled. He goes, oh, no, don't even let it bother you. And he ended the conversation. Now, we don't want to dissect every conversation, but let's dissect some conversations. She entered that meeting, that get-together, with incredible concern and stress. Now, void of intention, he gave the perception of dismissiveness. Don't let it worry you. And he got up and he walked away. What he said wasn't his intention, was, your feelings aren't that important. You're overreacting.
About a week later, they started to look at some of the chat editing tools that are out there. And everybody in the room got concerned. She looked over at her boss who was in the meeting, and his eyes got big. He really didn't understand what he was talking about. So my friend immediately started to look for different opportunities and started to explore using this tool for her own benefit. I said, don't fight the technology, find a way to embrace the technology. Yet in that conversation, she felt invalidated. Now, I don't know her boss. She has only spoken highly of him. In that moment, he was dismissive. He disregarded her feelings. That conversation had a profound impact on my friend. Now, it's a lot like going up to someone and saying, geez, that dress or that jacket looks terrible. You should never wear that. And someone says later, my intention wasn't to make you feel bad. Yet, we can make people feel bad. The key to what we're going through is when technology goes up, so does the need for conversation. When our conversations go up, we have the ability to retain and develop top talent. If AI and ChatGPT are going to save us time, and they will, and they are, so does our time availability to converse with their employees go up. Thank you for listening to another episode of Coaching Conversations by Tim Hagan and Progress Coaching. Now, our company is always coming out with new and innovative solutions to help leaders coach their employees. And recently, we just created a new service called Coach to You, where leaders can pick and choose topics and assign 7 to 21-day programs for employees to learn and, more importantly, apply actions and then reflect and share what they're going to do going forward as a result of the learning. It's called Coach to You. We're literally bringing coaching to your employees. If you're intrigued, we'll have a link in each one of our episodes where you can get more information. And again, thank you so much for listening to another episode.